Hey everyone, welcome back to Main Design. I'm MengChi, and today we are diving into gradient shape. Before we get started, make sure you download the starter file in the description so you can follow along. Alright, let's firing up that starter file. Let's look at the reference first, and this one is from the Dribble community. Credit is also linked right here. And you will notice something that it looks pretty different from the original Dribble design. Well, that's on purpose. As I take a look at the content on the screen, as you see here, I realized that it doesn't quite make any sense, so I redesigned it into something more practical. You could take a look at that. Anyway, let's get started with the layers panel. Alright, as you can see, most of the screen layers are already set up. And while we are creating that gradient shape, we'll go into this background layer. And now this gradient shape might look a bit complex, but it actually builds on 3 simple ingredients. Let's just discover them as we go. Okay, to kick things off, I'm dropping a 1000 by 1000 square onto the canvas. Fill with a black to white gradient, and you can do it in many different ways here. So you could try layering 2 of these with different rotations, even before we add any effects on it. Okay, now we are going to copy this shape as a PNG, copy as an imagery. Then we are going to bring it into the Photopea plugin. And this is basically a lightweight Photoshop that runs into browser. Okay, so one quick tip here that remember to set your frame size at least 1000 pixels so you can keep the image quality sharp. Okay, now in Photopea, scale the image down slightly. And so this gives us a room to manipulate it on a transparent background. Now we could head to the filter and select a blur, radial blur. And I usually go with a value between 50 to 80. So I think this looks okay. Then I will gonna apply this setting twice. Alright. You notice the edge soften and everything starts to glow. This is our first big transformation. Okay, that's time to distort it and use free transform, and make sure you unlink the width and height so you can start stretching it freely. Then we go to edit, transform, and warp, and you could start to warp the shape as however you like it. Okay, I think this looks kind of nice, so I want something a bit more dramatic. We could try using the distort. Can select filter, distort, and shear, and starting to manipulate these dots and bend those curves until you see what you like. Okay, now once it looks good, then we could export it as a PNG and drag it back into your canvas. Now we're going to use the gradient mapper to apply color. So that's the secret ingredient. And I prepared a palette already. Let's test it out. Okay, this looks nice. Let's apply it, and let's turn off the original layers underneath so your gradient shape will look much pop in the colors. And if you spot any harsh edges like here, then we could go into the effects panel and add progressive blur. What a time we could add progressive blur, right? So you add it. I think I will go about 50 to 0. So this finish looks smoother to me. Okay, now we're going to drop it into the background frame. Let's duplicate this and flip horizontally and scale it down. So we can put in other side and to create a bit of depth here. And that's it. You've got a solid technique to remix endlessly. Try different shape, blurs, and distortion to create your own styles. And if this video helps, please share with your design buddies and drop a question if you got one in a comment. And like the video and subscribe to the channel because more design breakdown is on the way. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.